Welcome to New Careers Academy, your trusted source for daily current affairs and defense exam preparation since
What
1967.
if I told you that one trade deal could reshape global markets, boost your career options, and even make luxury goods more affordable? Well, that's exactly what the Indian EU Free Trade Agreement does. It was signed in January 2026. This isn't just a trade document, it is a historic milestone. India is now the fourth largest economy, and the European Union is the second largest. Combined, they make for approximately 25% of the world's GDP. And overall, they handle approximately one third of the global trade. Well, this deal connects these two giants, creates new routes for goods, services, and opportunities. For India, it means unmatched access to a high income market. It also means a boost for the exports and a chance to dominate labor intensive global sectors. For the European Union, it means tapping into India's growing middle class, IT expertise, and expanding digital economy. And for you, it means jobs for engineers, IT professionals, artisans. Think cheaper tech, better fabrics, and even Ferraris, all part of the equation. But how does this agreement actually work? Who benefits, who is protected, and most importantly, when does the impact hit the ground? Let's break down the entire EU FTA with you, one sector at a time, in the clearest, simplest possible way. Well, let's understand the numbers behind it. Let's start with the hard numbers, because in trade, data talks louder than promises. Now, this is exactly what you will see in your papers also. In 2024-25, total trade in goods between India and the European Union reached a massive 11.5 lakh crore, or around $136 billion. This includes 6.41 crores in exports from India and 51 crores imports in India. But goods are only half the story. Indian service trade with EU is booming, valued at 7.2 lakh crore. Well, it is IT services, finance, consulting, education, tourism, high values, exports driving growth. All this means one clear thing. Europe is already one of the India's most favorite trade partner. Now, with the FTA in place, these numbers are expected to explode. Well, why? Because now a staggering 99% of Indian exports to EU will enjoy preferential access, meaning low or even zero import duties. Well, that's a game changer in itself. Imagine the fact that Indian products skipping queues, avoiding high tariffs, and reaching European shelves faster and cheaper. And for the European Union, they get access to a rising economic superpower, which is India, with a huge consumer base and lower barriers. This is no ordinary growth, this is a whole new era in global trade. First, let's understand what is driving the exports. Well, in the FTA becomes a major win for Indian economy, especially for exports, jobs, and small businessmen. Thanks to this deal, labor-intensive Indian exports worth over 33 billion annually will now enter the European market with zero tariffs. That means lower prices for European buyers and surging demand of Indian products. Who benefits the most? It's the MSMEs, factory workers, artisans, and exporters. Because more exports we do, more is the equipment required, more factory workers are required. It is going to help textile apparels, leather and footwear, marine products, gems and jewelry, handicrafts, engineering goods, and automobiles, especially the EV components. Well, this FTA will unlock millions of jobs, especially for women, youth, and rural workers. And with the EU standards pushing for sustainability and precision, Indian exporters will upgrade tech, will have to do it. Not only will this improve quality, but also increase earnings. Well, this isn't just about trade, it's about economic transformation from street side workshops to global showrooms. Well, Indian products are about to get much bigger on the global mark than ever. Well, at the same time, there were a lot of sensitive sectors which were protected. Now, here's what the FTA is, why we call it smart and strategic. India did not open everything. It protected key agriculture sectors, which we've seen in no, every FTA that we've signed, that are sensitive to farmers, just like in New Zealand and for Australia. While Europe wanted wider access, India made sure it shielded its vulnerable producers from unfair competition. What is not included? Dairy, cereals, poultry and eggs, soya meal, some fruits and vegetables. Why is this important, you will ask me? Well, because cheap European imports in these areas could crash local prices, hurting millions of farmers and rural livelihoods. At the same time, India allowed, which are the things which are allowed? Access to tea, coffee, spices, fruits, vegetables, and processed foods, which we are strong with. This balance is what makes the Indian European Union deal stand out, pro growth but not anti farmer. It is smart trade isn't about saying yes to everything, it's about saying yes to what builds the future. Now let's talk about the auto sector. Let's talk cars. Because this is one sector where India played it very smart. European automakers are global giants. So did India just open the floodgates for luxury vehicles? Well, no. Instead, the deal includes a quota-based gradual liberalization of strategy. Limited number of duty-free luxury imports, only niche, completely built units like Ferraris, Porsches, Lamborghinis. And there is not going to be much change for BMWs, Mercedes or Audis, which are already assembled in India. India's auto industry is now getting access to European Union, especially for electric vehicles and auto parts. This supports Make in India globally. The phased rollout gives Indian firms time to upgrade and adapt. Also, European Union now recognizes India's safety emission standards, meaning easier exports. Well, in this case, India avoided a sudden flood, protected jobs, and also gave opportunity for its manufacturers to go according to global standards. Well, that's how we negotiated. Well, that's exactly how we negotiated with precision. Let's talk about service and mobility. If goods trade is the engine, then service trade is the turbo boost for us. And India just got a powerful upgrade. European Union opened 144 subsectors to India that include IT, finance, consulting, education, tourism, engineering, legal business services. India opened 102 subsectors in return, still a net gain. Now for the game changer, mobility. Indian professionals, whether it's engineers, IT workers, teachers, researchers, can now work in the EU more easily. It covers inter-corporate transfers. It also includes independent professionals. Along with contractual service providers, dependent even get work rights. Well, post-study work becomes easier for Indian students, and the special win is Indian traditional medicine practitioners are now recognized in EU countries. This is about more than trade, it's about people, talent and opportunity. Well, the present FTA is now built for the next decade, and India and European Union will now collaborate on AI, clean energy, semiconductors, digital trade. The joint innovation, research and faster tech will also scale up. Also, India negotiated smartly on the carbon border tracks. Well, it includes flexibility, technical and financial help, recognition of India's carbon pricing. This protects steel, cement, manufacturing industries. Legally, India retained protection under TRIPS, ensuring the Doha Declaration was upheld and secured IP protection for the traditional knowledge digital library library. It is just not economic, it's strategic, digital and sovereign. Let's understand what all will get cheaper for you. Well, this is what you will notice over time. Luxury cars that are specially built outside, completely built units that are Ferraris, Lamborghinis will get cheaper. Imported textile, fabrics, fashion will get cheaper. Jewelry, raw materials, luxury items are going to get cheaper. European chocolates or gourmet foods are going to get cheaper. Tech equipment, industrial machinery is going to get cheaper. But don't expect everything. There's going to be no change in dairy, poultry, or cereals. No big drop in groceries or regular prices. Well, the timeline, FTA was signed in 2026. The change starts approximately late 2026. We will see its entire impact will come around 2027-30 because the European Union now has to sign this bill. Well, it's a strategic shift, not a flash sale also. Now, similarly, for any further articles and simple explanations of your current affairs, subscribe to the channel. This is Hartaj signing off.